Hi, English 9 pre-AP students, and welcome to our Frankenstein unit. This is also week 8, as you guys can see right here. And this is our first of the Wednesday to Wednesday weeks. I'm really curious to see how this goes for you guys and how you feel about doing Wednesday to Wednesday. I'm hoping it works well, but I'm open to your feedback. So I'm posting this tonight, Tuesday night, and you guys can get started on it tomorrow. I do want to remind you to please submit your To Kill a Mockingbird essay before you start on Frankenstein, because I want to get those in so I can start grading them and get them back to you for your first quarter grade. When you start Frankenstein, you don't have to start anything until you come to class, if you're in class. But if you'd like to, I would suggest starting right here with Frankenstein background. This assignment is a series of slides, a little video in here, backgrounds about 5 minutes, some notes on Gothic versus Romantic, some pictures, Gothic versus Romantic, and then some links with more info. And I wanted to really background those topics because you're going to keep hearing about Gothic and Romantic a lot throughout this unit. And it's something that's probably pretty new to you, so I wanted to go heavy on those things. To finish up background, there's a discussion question. Please do your best to answer it in the reply box below in this discussion. And that is the first assignment. So again, you can do that one before you come to class, or again, you can wait. When you come to class, we're going to look at Walton's letters. And this is a live lesson. So of course, virtual students or those who are absent, please feel free to Google Meet in. If you can't, I'm hoping to record again and post it here. But the reading that goes with our in-person lesson is Walton's letters. And we'll kind of go over this in class, but Frankenstein is a frame story. So it's a story within a story. So what we're going to read together is the larger story, the frame, before you guys dig into the story within the story in chapters 1 through 7. So a couple of highlights, some notes on locations you'll see throughout the novel, and then this all-important slide on how to actually access the text. So I'm going to show you that now on my screen. So I followed this link to get here to the resource portal. I'm going to click on Ed, and that's going to bring me to my screen. My screen looks slightly different from yours, I realize, but it is very similar. So I'm in our class. I'm going to go to my class. On your screen, it's going to say assignments. And then you'll see right here the assignment for Frankenstein. Click on it. Mine says open. I'm not sure if yours says open or if it will just open for you. But if it says open, go ahead and open it. And you will see now the text of the novel. Now, I know it's not ideal. I really wish we had our paper copies, but we don't. But this is a really great alternative. So you can scroll through and see, and you can scroll side to side. But I also want to point out this top left navigation chart and contents, because you have all this intro stuff, but then you have the actual novel, right? So Walton's letters is what we're reading in class. Then you're going to read through chapter 7, that's VII, for the quiz. It's all Roman numerals, so don't forget how those correspond. And that'll be what we're reading this week. It also helps you can navigate back and forth. If you see a stray or an errant page reference, I'm sorry, I'm trying to take those out of all my notes right now. We're just going to go through the chapters like this. It's our best navigation. And you have a play audio button at the top if you want to listen. You can also close contents and take notes if you'd like to make notes. I am not going to require you to make notes on these first chapters and turn those in, but it's a great way for you to keep track of things you want to ask about or remember or make note of as you're reading. You can also bookmark certain pages so that you can come back to a place later on, just like you would in a book. So you don't have to read chapter to chapter. You can just bookmark where you're at. I hope all of those things help you. Let me go ahead and get rid of that bookmark. We'll talk about that more in class, and then we're going to read, like I said, Walton's letters, and talk about one of the allusions he makes to the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, and we'll just discuss that in class. So if you're doing this from home, online, You don't need to do anything with this reading. You just need to do the reading and hopefully join the Google Meet or watch the Google recording I'll do. For the rest of the week, this is after we meet, you're going to read 2 other sections of the book, chapters 1 through 4 and 5 through 7. And I'll try to put the Roman numeral connections in there so you guys can see that as well. For chapters 1 through 4, after you read those, go ahead and read this article about modern embryonic stem cell research and human cloning. So it asks this question at the end. You can obviously bring in what you've read in Frankenstein and what you've read in the article to answer this question. Feel free to engage and make it a true discussion. I've also included those directions down here for how to get to the book in case you forget. Finally, the last assignment in this week is chapters 5 through 7. So you're going to do the reading, and then there is a volume 1 quiz, which will cover all of the Walton's letters and chapters 1 through 7. So when you open up, you'll see most of it is multiple choice. There are a couple of true false at the end, and then you will submit. I left you some notes here to remind you that Google Forms and Canvas do not talk to each other. So when you hit submit, you will see a message pop up that says you've finished your quiz and you've submitted. If you get that message, don't worry about submitting a second. I noticed for that form you did in Mockingbird for the last chapters 26 on, several people submitted 2 or 3 forms. You only need to do 1, but go ahead and submit that. And please know that it will still say missing on Canvas. I'll go ahead and grade that. I won't post it to Skyward until it's actually graded. Again, down here, how to get to the book in case you forget. All right, I think that brings us to the end of this module. So I'm going to go in and add a couple of Roman numeral tags to remind you. My video will post here. Otherwise, that's all the info you need. Please feel free to reach out if you have questions or if this becomes a struggle. And next week, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on how this Wednesday to Wednesday system works. Have a wonderful week, guys, and I hope you enjoy Frankenstein.